Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our /JustNoMil. In today's episode, husband wants me to like my in-laws and I just can't. Emil decided a vacation. New here, some Justinos from my to be Emil. Emil is hellbent on removing my cat from the picture. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Husband wants me to like my in-laws and I just can't. I can't stand my in-laws. Mostly Emil. This changed after baby number 1 was born. This is maybe half of it. Would these upset you? I can't find it in me to like them anymore. I will add that we have been raising kids while in medical school. For anyone not familiar, I don't get maternity leave. I don't get vacation. They are treating us as if I am a som when it's the opposite. Our lives are so busy, and it feels like there is no understanding from my in-laws. Looking for advice, I really don't know how to continue on like this. They are coming to visit, and it's giving me a lot of anxiety. Please excuse the grammar, I am typing this quickly while kids are napping. Cross-posting from another sub too. Here is the abbreviated version. Making everyone wait on Christmas to open gifts until narcissistic Bil decides to show up. It's like 8 p.m. and he still isn't there, so they finally decide to stop waiting. Visiting myself and husband maybe a couple of times over 2.5 years before baby, and then wanting to visit everyone 1 to 2 months after baby is born. Expecting to stay with myself and husband for a month after baby is born. Sitting in our 800 square feet apartment, watching Netflix for 8 hours because we don't need the help. Asking Emil to leave because we don't need the help and want this time to bond as a family, and her throwing a fit over this. Oh, I guess you just don't need me, sorry for being such a burden, blah blah blah. Emil saying before October baby was born that if we couldn't make it to their house for Thanksgiving, 7-hour drive without stops, that it would be okay. We tell them we can't make the drive, and she proceeds to throw a massive fit, making the drive to visit them second week of December to celebrate Christmas. Phil stick his finger in our 2-month-old's mouth. Emil wakes baby to show her off on a Zoom call and proceeds to make her cry and gives baby back to us so she can resume her work. They make plans without asking to drive 2 hours to see Christmas lights. Throws a fit because we want to drive separately so I can feed baby privately without my Phil/Emil watching. Despite celebrating Christmas together earlier in the month, inviting themselves without asking to visit us around the actual dates of Christmas. Proceeds to complain about how small our apartment is and how we aren't accommodating enough. Tries to visit last minute over Mother's Day and gets upset when I tell my husband that I don't want to celebrate with her and want it to just be our family. Every single time they visit, they take husband alone to dinner while I am with the kids and have bring up the fact that they don't feel we are accommodating enough and they want us to drive, with 2U2, to visit them more often, 7 hours. They want the relationship my Emil had with grandma because she got pregnant before marriage while in school and had to have help from her mom, grandparents spending multiple days a week with my husband. They bought a house in the middle of nowhere in an undesirable location and are upset that no one visits. Emil says constantly, "Oh, we have so much baby stuff and no one ever comes to visit, so it's going to waste." I don't trust them to watch our kids. They are constantly on their phones and not paying attention. Emil admits to watching TikTok while driving, WTF. And Phil has had DUI before. I don't trust them to drive our children anywhere. Emil acts like I'm dumb and she knows everything. I will be a doctor in 2 months. I have spent many years babysitting. I know how to care for my child, and if I have questions, I know the resources to consult for answers. She's lecturing me on how to find a babysitter and what to look for. I know. I am not dumb. I will not just trust anyone to watch my children. Always bragging about her early childhood education and how she knows so much about children. It's annoying. If I want your advice, I will ask for it. Despite my husband communicating that we don't want a ton of gifts as we don't have the space and are more of minimalistic people, they constantly come with stuff. Every single time. Stuff we don't need or already have. They were at my daughter's first birthday and watched us open gifts. yet bring the same gifts for Christmas for her that she already has. I am convinced they are compulsively buying stuff, despite us asking them not to make up for their feeling of not seeing the kids every single week. They even buy repeats of gifts they have already purchased for us. The same PJs in the same size, the same exact bath toys, blocks, etc. So much stuff. Despite us asking them to speak to our children using proper grammar, they don't. Emil constantly using baby talk. Does uses wants your Wawa? Oh my goodnesses. We have asked her a ton of times, and she continues to do it, inviting themselves to visit multiple days early without even asking. I'm giving toddler a bath and holding sleeping baby. Emil asks, do you need help? I say, no, I'm okay, we do this every day. Proceeds to go to my husband and say that I refuse to let her give toddler a bath. Edit. Thank you everyone. Had a long conversation about this and he is finally starting to understand. He read through every single comment and agrees he has been asking me to let too many things go. So, your DH's complete failure to hold boundaries, manage their behavior, and address issues with his parents has led to your resentment of them. But instead of acknowledging that he just wants you to get over it, I would tell your husband that you also want to like your in-laws, but it's hard to like people who disrespect you, are rude, and overstep boundaries. He's trying to make it about your feelings when the issue is their behavior. So if he wants you to have a better relationship with them, then he needs to do a better job setting and enforcing boundaries. I'd start by asking DH what is likable about them. But more seriously, why are you accommodating their demands? This normalizes the behavior of not asking when / if it is convenient to visit, not staying in a hotel, ignoring your instructions, and offering unsolicited advice. Stop being available for their visits, and if they show up anyway, don't allow them to stay with you. Behaviors have to have consequences if you want them to change. And so what if she throws a tantrum? Like a small child, you cannot give in to the demands, the pouting, the whining. You're giving them the power by giving them their way. And DH needs to make you and the LOs the priority and stop trying to keep mommy and daddy happy. Emil decided a vacation. My Emil and her sister are coming to our area. They booked a place that only had availability for 3 nights. They are here for 4 nights. I'm in C with that woman. She is toxic, angry, and hurtful. The sad part is I used to love her. Not anymore. I would be sad for my husband if she passed, but she has been so evil to me over the years that I have had enough, so I blocked her last year. I think she plotted this trip to force me into contact. Her sister is nice enough, and I don't have a problem with her, but who books a trip before ensuring they have all days covered? My husband was clear, thank goodness. He said I will not host them here, and she needs to make sure to get that last day covered somewhere. Out of the 4 days they are here, my husband is only off 1 day. I'm not going with them to whatever they have planned. That woman scares me. It's been several years since I've seen her, and almost a year since I blocked her. NC means NC, but I'm wondering if I should have them over for dinner one night. Just to be kind to his aunt, but then I remember his mom sent by mail a baked treat with ingredients I'm highly allergic to, and my husband said it was probably not malicious of her. I was sick for a month and a half because of her. I didn't eat it, but I touched it, and that was enough to cause a reaction. I know my allergies are ridiculous, but a lot of boomers especially think allergies are made up. Do you all think I should stick to the NC or host a dinner? I probably won't see her again for years. Blessedly, she lives on the opposite side of the country. She tried to move in with us, but my husband didn't let her. Every time I feel affection for her and make exceptions, it ends up in an argument. My husband said our home is my safe space, and he's okay with me not seeing her, but his aunt may not be aware of the rift, and it's going to be awkward for him. He also said not hosting the aunt will mean she will wonder how much I hate his family that I won't see them one night and show her our house. I like his dad's side of the family and a few people from his mom's side, but being so far, we are in another world practically, so there is no familiarity with them other than he and his mom are close. Update. Thank you everyone so much for all the responses. The people of this community have spoken, and I'm not letting Emil and Aunt in our home. She was trying to get another flying monkey on board, but that person backed out. She could probably foresee the absurdity of her plan. We already anticipated that maybe they will drive to our house when my husband is at work. He already told me not to answer the door and be like our house cat when strangers show up and just run into a room away from the windows. If they don't get the hint, I guess it will escalate. I truly hope this doesn't happen. I do agree she is booking this trip primarily to see her baby boy, my hubby, and to force contact with me. Not going to happen. I have decided the most diplomatic path forward is going to be, oh newies, I suddenly have something highly contagious. Maybe Ebola lol, cough cough, and I can't host a single person.
Saudi.
Husband can tell Aunt the situation and then you organize a visit to Aunt and the rest of the family later on to show the only issue you have is your toxic mill. I don't spend time with nor will allow people in my home that tried to poison me. Or more politely, ignored me when I detailed my allergies and then sent baked goods made with my allergies, causing me to be ill for more than a month from just touching them. Stay and see. That person tried to kill you. Your husband can explain your aunt that. Your husband can explain your aunt that his own mother tried to make your life a living hell and that you need to be protected from her. Don't meet her, don't have her over, don't make dinner. She will insist on staying overnight. Stick to your boundaries. NC is NC. I think having them over for dinner is a terrible idea. He can see her on his day off. There's no reason to put you through the stress of having her in your safe space. New here. Some Justinos from my to be MIL. I am so happy to have found this place. Oh, my would be MIL isn't the absolute worst, and I'm a pretty strong-headed person too, so it doesn't faze me all that much. But some of her stuff is just...
No.
Here are some examples. Visited us when we had just moved in, first time meeting me, brought a bunch of food, and kept asking me questions about where stuff is / where to put stuff in the kitchen, even when she saw me studying and so doing nothing. Said, don't care about grades, just get the degree, to convince me to miss classes / assignments so I could be more present at home. She knows this is my second master's and I love studying. Said, oh, how amazing, the whole S/O's last name, family together. When we were going out for a day trip, no, he hadn't even proposed at that time, and we hadn't indicated anything about marriage, let alone me taking his last name. Kept asking me to miss classes, for which I've taken a loan of thousands of dollar, to travel to home country cause her master plan is to get us married as soon as we step foot there. Cried when I said I disagree with any radical religious groups and didn't join her in hating a certain religious group. Telling me, I love kids, please give me grandchildren quickly, when she knows we don't want to have kids ever. Cried when I said I disagree with any radical religious groups and didn't join her in hating a certain religious group. Excuse me, what? Hell to the no with that one. I have no tolerance for adults who burst into tears when they aren't getting their way. The whole grandchildren thing from parents and in-laws needs to stop once and for all. We need a separate thread / collection for that one alone. MIL is hellbent on removing my cat from the picture. For context, MIL doesn't like animals, especially pets, especially cats. And I have had one since before I met my husband. I moved to a different country for education and made arrangements for my cat to come and live with me after a year, after I would settle down a bit. And in the meanwhile, I met my husband and married him. When my MIL visited, she made it clear that she dislikes animals. Here are all the ways she has tried to take my cat out of the picture. Told me she won't visit a house that has a pet. Tried telling my husband it would be very expensive to have a pet and that he shouldn't pay for anything related to my cat. Called my mom up and talked about how cats bring a negative energy into a home, and bringing her to me when they visit would be a bad idea. She still hasn't given up. Edit. Thanks for all of your hilarious comments, guys. I had a laughing riot reading some of them. Rest assured, peeps, I'm not letting my cat go anywhere. I love my princess and my husband can't wait to build his own relationship with her. MIL lives in another country, so won't be visiting often. She'll just have to suck it up when she visits, if at all. And my kitty is a very petty girl. She will make sure to ruin someone's day if they even look at her weird lol. Remember, when you have kids, I don't let people who hate animals be alone with my kids. Oh, this one would have hit right in the feels if I'd planned on having kids. Try spelling homeowner without meow. If she doesn't want to step foot in your home, then it's her choice. You and husband can meet up with her at public places. Be very careful with any gifts from her and double-check any plants/food in case it's toxic for a cat. A home is not a home without any pets. And yes, dust bunnies and spiders on the outside of the windows counts. Told me she won't visit a house that has a pet. I guess you won't be visiting us then. Tried telling my husband it would be very expensive to have a pet and that he shouldn't pay for anything related to my cat. I will continue to be responsible for my cat, although hubby may end up loving my precious baby more than I do. Called my mom up and talked about how cats bring a negative energy into a home, and bringing her to me when they visit would be a bad idea. The only time there's negative energy in our home seems to be when you visit. My mom loves, yes, elongate the word, and wants what's best for my cat, so mom will be bringing the cat to me. Please make sure your cat is microchipped to you. That way, if she tries to get rid of your cat, can one scanning kitty get in touch with you? I love when unpleasant people try and use "I won't come over" as some kind of threat. Like, oh no, that would be so terrible. Please do come over and stay at my home. Will, I guess if you can't, you can't. Okay, thanks, bye. Sounds like a good reason to keep the cat if it means she won't visit, but maybe that's just me. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.